G'day Bomber fans, we've had a few days to get over that after the siren loss to Port Adelaide, and now we have a really great opportunity, a home game against the firing Adelaide Crows. We win this, we stay in the 8, if we lose, we probably fall out. There is a lot at stake here, the pressure is on us now to perform as a club, a really tough period coming up, so let's see how the boys deal with it. Preview coming up, but first, stick around till the end of the video to hear about Manscaped, and we also have some votes from last game to get through. So votes from the Port game, Caldwell the clear standout, he got the maximum 6, Langford gets the second most, with Merritt and Phillips not too far away. Phillips getting his first votes of the year, and I guess because I've had this channel for only under 12 months, he gets his first votes ever. Here is the overall tally, the leaderboard. Caldwell moves up a bit, so too Langford. Merritt extends his lead, going to be very hard for anyone to catch him. Ridley and Redman are still hanging around the podium though, so the battle for second looks the more interesting for the time being. So Essendon versus Adelaide, two top 8 teams at the moment, two very young top 8 teams, both rising the ladder, both on a similar trajectory. It's a journey for these two clubs, and both play really fun, exciting footy at their best. Adelaide are a joy to watch. They love fast, frenetic footy, so Etihad may suit them, even though it's definitely more in our favour historically. We haven't lost a game at Marvel this year, and Adelaide, it's their first time travelling to Docklands this season, but they lost all 3 matches they played there last year. They generally don't perform too well at Marvel Stadium. We beat them last year and we were ordinary, and we obviously had that game against them in 2021 when we held them to, I think, 3 goals. And we also just generally perform well against the Crows. We haven't lost to them since 2017. We have won our last 5 matches against Adelaide, so we have history on our side, but also this is a different Crows side. This is a much better team than we are used to facing. Their main issue though is they are looking like flat track bullies. They have won just a single away game this year against the Hawks in Tassie. They have lost to the Giants, the Cats, the Dogs, the Suns, the Magpies on the road, so form suggests we have the upper hand here as well. But I'm going to set that aside and say I think their Marvel woes are probably non-existent with their current game style. I think this is a team that will love pace on the ball, love the ball moving. They are really quick and really high scoring, and Etihad is a typically high scoring venue. Without their history, you would suggest the Crows are in line for a 15-goal game. You got one of the most potent forward lines in the comp. Walker is leading the Coleman, Rankin is in all-Australian form, Fogarty and Thilthorpe are targets, Pedler and Rochelle kick goals. They have heaps of options down there, heaps more than we do at the moment, because our forward line is struggling to hit goals right now. The last time we hit triple figures was against North in round 12. In the 3 games since then, we have averaged a little over 70, while the Crows in that period have averaged 130. So they know how to kick big scores. They do it all the time. Their midfield is a big reason for their frequent scoring. They have the equal most goals for the year, but it starts from the centre. They are the 3rd best clearance team in the comp, with names like Laird, Dawson and Sloan working under Riley O'Brien, who has helped the Crows become the 2nd best hit outside. In fact, no ruckman in the league has more hit outs to advantage than Riley O'Brien. It may sound like I am hyping the Crows up to win this, but there is a lot in it for us as well. So how do we win this game of footy? What do Essendon have to do to get those 4 points that will set us up for finals? Well, to start with, we need a functioning forward line. There are no excuses for Wiedemann and Wright misfiring under the Marvel roof on a Sunday afternoon. There are none. It's not wet. We aren't playing a top 14. This is a defence that is vulnerable away from home, especially without Jordan Butts now. We need to score from our key forwards. I have loved our different avenues to goals this year, but I would rather see us score the way we expect to. Get on top of their defence early. I would say it's their weakest area of the ground. I actually think a player really important to us and our scoring is going to be, well, it sounds obvious now because he's our highest goal scorer, but Kyle Langford. I think if anyone is going to rip the game apart for us on the scoreboard, it's him. He has 10 goals at Etihad this year and will probably be playing on a young Max Michelini, who I think is going to struggle with Langford's body use. No one uses their body as well as Langford on our team. I think he is super important for us and our forward line. We need to be up to the contest like we were against Adelaide's rivals Port. If we play like that in the centre, I think we win. It's as simple as that. Adelaide have the 3rd most contested possessions. We can bring that tally down if we A, win the ball in close quarters effectively, and B, play our uncontested game of half-back. We love to control the ball in defence, and I think that style will frustrate the Crows, who love the ball moving. They will prefer a chaos-based game. We can make it a structural one. We need our defence to go huge. Zerk Thatcher, Laverty, Ridley, Hind or Kelly, whoever plays, they have big roles. Laverty most likely on Tex. That is a massive matchup. And then you got Rankin, who goes to him. Is it Kelly? Do we play McGrath on him like we did for Charlie Cameron? These are the big decisions that need to be made and matchups that need to be at least halved. We cannot afford to let Tex or Rankin off the leash. They will kill us if they get confidence. We need territory more in this game than ever. When we have played at Marvel this year, we have won the inside 50 count. An inside 50 count we frequently lose. Sure, it's against teams lower than Adelaide, but it tells you how well we control the ground when we play here. I think to win this game, we need to win the count again. I don't usually say this because we don't mind inside 50s against us, but I think against a team like Adelaide with a forward line this dangerous, we need the ball in our half. I don't want to be allowing repeat entries. I want the boys to be supplying repeat entries for Wright and co. The midfield battle is crucial because on paper ours is stronger. Merritt, Parrish, Hobbs, Caldwell with Martin and Durham on the wing. That should be getting the upper hand, but Phillips going up against O'Brien, that is a worry for me. O'Brien is as strong a ruck as you can get. I would compare him to Sean Darcy, a ruck who destroyed us just a fortnight ago. We cannot let O'Brien have the same impact that Darcy had when we played Freo. Without Draper especially, this is a massive worry for me, but if we can at least break even in the ruck, I think it gives us a major advantage. Something Adelaide really struggle with is managing intercept possessions effectively and just earning them in general. McGrath, Redmond, Zirk Thatcher and Laverty have more intercept possessions than any Adelaide player, and we love to score off half-back as well. We score goals from defensive half interceptions more than any other team, so this plays into our favour, the fact that we are such an intercept-heavy team and the Crows are not, especially because we will most likely have more of the footy, more uncontested footy than them. A big issue though is the fact the Crows don't mind long kicks down the line. If it's to a pack, it generally favours them. They have the 6th most contested marks in the league. It should be noted this is mainly from forwards. Walker, Thilthorpe and O'Brien are their top 3, but they all have almost 10 more than Ridley, who of the available Dons has the most for us. So if the Crows set up well and close our short kicking game, we are in trouble. That's probably when we introduce run onto the game, leg speed, because we can be quick, especially if Hind returns. That brings me to possible inclusions. Team news for us. There were no injuries on Saturday night. The big question for me is whether we keep in Jake Kelly or introduce Hind back into the squad. Sartas was good in the VFL, so too Davey, but you can't really make many changes to a team that almost beat Port. Wiedemann should stay in. Voss just isn't quite ready yet, especially against a top 8 team. I don't think we do too much. We might make one change. I would even be surprised if we make 2 unforced changes to a pretty strong team though. Is Dylan Shield fully fit? I don't really want to see him play if he isn't. For Adelaide, Jordan Butts will miss, which helps our forward line. Wright and Wiedemann have a lesser defender to deal with now. Aside from this, they have a non-existent injury list. Duday is out, but that's pretty much it of their starting 22. They have just about everybody available and won't make many changes after a big win against North. Players to watch out for, Walker, Rankin, anyone in that forward line, Rory Laird, Riley O'Brien, that's a big one, Jordan Dawson. They have plenty of big names. Chase Jones on that wing is going to play a big defensive role on Nick Martin, I assume, but that's about all I can say. I think we all know what is coming next, a big old prediction. Will we win this game of footy? Well, just because we need a bounce back and this is frankly a must-win game. If we lose this, I think we miss finals. If we win, I think we're a really good chance to make it. I genuinely think that is the truth here. So for that reason, I think we win by 10 points. I think it's going to be high scoring. It's going to be tight, going to be close. It'll be frenetic footy. I think we can match, if not better than though. But that is that. Preview done, now a word from Manscaped. Bomber fans, I am going to be stressed come Sunday, but I will not be hairy, at least downstairs. I would have used Manscaped, and you can too. Just head over to manscaped.com, browse all the best body grooming gear you can find, and with me, you can save 20% off plus free shipping by using my discount code EverythingEssendon20. Cheers, Dons fans.